Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Randony and in this video I will be drawing a warrior girl, woman, female gender, species. I'm not sure about what her age is. However, before I would like to go further into the drawing and into the voiceover, I just want to disclaim that I'm running very low on time because this video should be scheduled in like 40 minutes. So I'm just trying to do my voiceover as quickly as possible, and I also have to do my thumbnail, and I'm doing this at the exact last moment, so my voiceover might be a little bit rocky. I've been trying to do the voiceover, however, last time it got cut off, and the time before that I was interrupted, so I'm just trying my best. So let's go into the drawing. Basically, this drawing was inspired by a drawing I made in 2015, I believe. Maybe 2014 or 2016. It was a blank period for me in my brain, so I'm sorry that I can remember properly which one of the three it was. It was most likely 2015, because this was around the period of time where I started living with my mother, and that is when I drew this drawing, and I believe that was 2015. However, I'm not sure, so I apologize. However, as I said, this drawing was inspired by a drawing I made back then. However, the issue I have with that drawing is, first of all, the face was looking horrendous, or horrid actually. And the other issue I had was that the girl I drew was wearing way too much armor. I don't think she would be able to move properly in all of that armor, so I just wanted to redesign everything, change the pose, add a background, because this is a drawing where I add a background, which is very rare for me. So, I also wanted to try and change the perspective of my drawings, because I've been always drawing kind of the same perspective my whole life. So I've been trying to experiment with changing perspective and adding different kinds of details, trying to look at other kinds of things that should be important in a drawing, like distance. And in this drawing, I feel like I kind of did a decent job, because the hair actually fades. I kind of blurred it out at the tips to show that it's kind of going further back instead of just being next to her head. So the hair is actually one of my favorite parts of this drawing, along with her cheek. Actually, it's very odd, but her cheek is also something I kind of like because of the blending I did there. And here you can see me trying to add color, but you can just ignore that because that is never going to happen again, probably. But the ending drawing is just black and white because the colors didn't really suit the drawing, and I feel like it took away some kind of feeling it had when just being black and white. So here you can see me working on the drawing. It's not really that much different from how I usually work on my drawings and hair. So it's basically just adding a brush that has opacity with your pressure sensitivity, and then just adding strokes with the way the hair goes, and then adding highlights and some shadows. And that's just how I work with hair. For me, that's the best way that I believe goes well with my style. I don't really believe many other kinds of styles of drawing hair would fit well with my art. But that's just my opinion. Of course, other people may have different opinions, and if you do, please let me know so I can experiment with that. So, yay! I'm trying to engage people into commenting and liking and that kind of thing, but no one really does, and it kind of saddens me sometimes. But you know, it's fine. All is fine. And yeah. Further, the rest was just line art, basic colors and shadows, blocking out some shadows, then adding some textures and blending everything out. And here you can see I was actually struggling a little bit with the armor because I didn't like the texture, and it didn't really look like metal until I believe here or a slightly later stage, because I'm completely reworking the armor, I believe. At least the silver parts do look silver, and that's kind of what I was going for. And for the rest, I just tried to add some kind of detail to the armor, like just adding some scratches from the battles. She also has some scars on her skin. I'm not sure if you can see that properly, but she definitely has some scars left from previous battles, which personally I found that wasn't a part of the drawing I really liked, because it isn't just new armor. It's not like she has never been in a fight. And here she's just looking into the distance to observe the fighting and trying to see what else she would like to do with the battle. And here you can see that a lot of scratches have been added to the armor, so I'm just hoping this armor is kind of realistic, because a lot of times when people draw female armor, it's usually really impractical, and I'm not sure if this one would be practical or not, but it does seem more practical than armors people draw when girls have their chest showing and their belly showing, because here she at least has some kind of coverage. And I would like to believe that underneath the black shirt, or well, you know, the black sweater, she has some kind of chainmail to protect the parts that she has no armor. However, this was mainly just an experiment to see how Procreate works for me, because here I'm trying to work with different kind of brushes and trying to learn how to use Procreate, because this was my second drawing in Procreate, the first one being last week's, and I'm slowly working up my way to showing you my progress now in Procreate. And my preference still goes to Photoshop because of the brushes. I can't quite seem to find my favorite round brush in Procreate the same way it works in Photoshop. But yeah, you know, we are actually nearing the ending of the video, so in just a little bit you will see me working on the background. So I don't really have a lot to say about the background, because it's just some, you know, I'm just trying to work with drawing a mountain, and I had a lot of different kinds of images in my head, which didn't really work out that well, in my honest opinion, of course. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think, and please like and subscribe.